Good morning, everybody. And we got to whip to the pre-call slides because we have some things to share with you from the Masters meeting. Right. And
is all of this in the pre-call?
All of this and where are my notes? What
is this? I printed mine out, but this is really
where did I put them? Oh, here they are. Yeah. Yes. Yes, in the pre-call. Yeah. So let's quick do if you run through Jackie McCoy stuff, and then we'll tell them about some of the news.
We are in the middle of our weight loss campaign for January to March 2015. It's all about setting the record of having Shaklee family members and our friends and family and the rest of the world working to lose 40,000 pounds. And it's about being 40,000 pounds healthier by end of March this year. And so we want to make sure that you still want to be talking to people, still bringing people in, still working with people, and still helping them to make that difference. And it's in for 10, lose 10 pounds, start there. And we want to talk about Shaklee Live, which will be our global conference from August 12th to the 16th, and Earning Cash for Cleveland. And I don't know. It was just sitting at our master coordinator meetings and listening. We spent all of, I think, yesterday.
Wednesday morning. Oh, it's so exciting.
Yeah, talking about what's happening. And I was mentioning earlier, Barb, that the company's been working with a group of about, I think, 8 Shaklee master coordinator teams in planning this, and it is just so spine-tingling, actually, in terms of what they're working on. And, of course, we'll be celebrating Roger Barnett's inspiring vision for the next 100 years. And listen, guys, if you thought his vision for these last 10 years when he first bought Shaklee was something, you ain't seen nothing yet. You hear his next 100-year vision.
Oh, that's exciting.
And Cleveland is exciting.
Yeah.
Cleveland is, I didn't realize the rock and roll connections as much as I did after the conversation, and they're going to do some really fun things around that. In fact, one of the ideas, I don't know if they'll go through with it, is that on Saturday night that we go to the gala all dressed as our favorite rock star.
Oh, gosh.
And Barb was really perking up about that.
Oh, boy. I got to figure out who is a rock star. No, I'll be fine. Elton John. I don't know. I'll figure out that.
Oh,
You'll be fine. The problem is that you suck in your friends into this stuff who are a little more conservative.
A little more sedate, but no, that's why God put me in their path. That's what I think. Anyway, it will be honestly, I think it will honestly go down as one of those conferences that we all talk about for the next 25 years, which and we've had several like that, and it's going to be that one. This, I was just thinking about our lives are made up of moments and memories, and it's hard to put a price tag on that. But to that end, we all are working very hard to make sure everybody gets there and that it's affordable, and there's a lot of ideas that they're also kicking around to try to make it as economical as possible to get people there, and you'll be hearing more about that, and we'll be doing some things within our own groups around that.
Yeah, and we have the Cash for Cleveland, where you can, by earning sponsoring points, you can, earn shares, and I have a hunch that pool, those shares could very easily be worth more than $100.
Oh, yes, because go ahead.
Well, I'm just going to say, and don't say, but 20, I mean, you might be looking at this and saying, well, I haven't been sponsoring 1 or 2 people a month. 20 points. Don't think of it that way. Say 20 points. That's all I need.
It's 10 people with a 100 PV order, and we're going to show you some stuff about that actually today about how you can get there. reach
Okay.
that very easily. Oh, and so we wanted to tell you a little bit about the master meeting, and I wanted to give you a picture of what these meetings are like. Here's how we start. We begin a master meeting with Roger, I think typically, right? He
Right.
opens the meeting and he tells us his vision, which always, that doesn't, then any vision we had prior to that seems real piddly compared to whatever he's thinking. But then the masters started talking about the goal that we're going after, and one of the goals, just one of them, was about introducing 1 million people to Shaklee.
Mm.
And you know what? I mean, they talked about, a million mind campaign, with MindWorks alone, and that it sounds exciting and so forth. And then you start thinking what 1 million is, and you know what? 1 million is a lot of people. It's a lot of people. And so I started playing with some numbers, and the other theme that we will hear all this year is this is the 100th year celebration of 100 years of innovation, 100 years of science, 100 years of successes and stories. And so he got us thinking in terms of 100. And I was thinking about on Thursday mornings, we typically have about 250 of us between our organizations and our colleagues who join us. And I was thinking, if each one of us set a goal to develop 100 new members this year, if each of us did that, 100 new members this year, that's 25,000 new Shaklee members just from our little corner of the world right here. And if you break that down, that's only 8 to
8
10.
or 9 a month.
Yeah, a month.
Yeah.
And what's that? It's like a couple, 2, 3 a week. And if we were doing and especially all these wonderful ideas and if you missed our session, about 2 weeks ago, we had all these wonderful ideas of ways that we're developing customers with Facebook events and conference calls and wellness webinars. I mean, we have many, many things that we can invite people to. It is not that is a really doable thing. So we wanted to share that with you so that all of us are thinking in terms of 100. You can click, Joe. In terms of 100 all year long, 100 years of innovation, 100 years of these wonderful stories. And then to begin, when we get to Cleveland, we're going to be thinking about the 100 years ahead of us and our role in that. And it's very exciting to think about that. Think about the legacy that we're all creating now and will be leaving to the world, not just our families. So one of the ways we can start is think about 100 new members with 100 PV each. That would be 10,000 PV a month. At 20%, just from that one idea. And you know what's beautiful about our business is you build 100 new members. Let's say you really set that as a goal for this year, and you take care of those members and you give them great service. They're the same 100 members you're going to have next year. You're just going to add more if you want. So, I mean, that's how our business grows. It builds on those relationships. That's why we always say you do more work in the beginning. Because you're building those relationships, but then you're just developing those relationships after that. And so, and then we were thinking, think really big. Could you see 100 directors on your business team?
That would be great.
Big in terms of 100. It's a very exciting thing. And then we also took some pictures. We wanted to also share with you just one other thing. No, you tell them this one, Joe.
Oh, well,
this is big.
We were very excited to meet one of the newest additions to Roger Barnett's executive team, Rich Libby, who's the new CIO. Is that Chief Information Officer?
Yeah.
Is that okay? And he has been hired to do major overhaul of the Shaklee website. And what was really exciting is what he's going to do and how that ties into Roger's vision for the next 100 years and actually the next 10 years. And I can't wait for people to hear what that vision is that Roger has, because it is just fabulous. And Rich Libby comes from the world, from Gap, the clothing store, and he there supervised a staff of 2,000 people, and he was involved. He was in offices all around the world. I think he was saying they had one in Australia, London, San Francisco. There were like 10 different places around the world. Very sharp, very impressive. He's got great ideas, but I think one of the things that I really liked about him is that he's a very assured person. He knows that he knows what to do. And what I liked is that he's been very honest with Roger in terms of saying, this needs to be done. This is what it's going to take, and this is what it's going to cost.
And this is how much money I need. Thank you very much.
Yeah. And we're not talking hundreds of thousands of dollars. We're talking tens of millions.
30, 40 million. Yeah. But he knows. And I said, why did you come here? He said, I like fixing things. And we have, I don't know if you all realize, but Shaklee has been operating on a very, very old,
antiquated.
But because they were early in creating a computer system for their business, and they've been nervous about messing with it too much, to replace it, because they didn't want it to crash, and then we'd all, be out of business temporarily. And I mean, it's a very serious thing in industry today. And this guy he knows how to do that. And he has he's so wonderful. We hijacked him from the meeting, and they have this one, and here's the last thing we want to tell you, because we want to get started with today, but we want to tell you about when you become a master coordinator. Master coordinators are hugely important to the company. They have created this a team of 100,000 organization volume of leaders and members, and they've seen it all. They've been through the valleys. They've been to the mountaintop. They've seen it all. They've learned a lot, and they are very valuable to the company. And the company lets us know that. And when we were there, it was just a very special meeting this time, because normally we're meeting with them, a couple of days before conference, and it's just so busy. This time we were mid-season through the year, and we just had time to brainstorm, and so in the middle of these meetings, and we're working hard, they come in with this present for us. And if you can see, it is the most beautiful, elegant leather briefcase satchel. It is beautiful, with that embossing on it that says Master Coordinator. And can you see what is sitting on top of that?
I can see it.
Because they said, there's a zipper pocket. Open your zippered pocket. And we opened it, and in it was a $100 bill. $100 cash bill. And there's some Mr. Big Bucks sitting in that room, and we all were so excited about that, and realizing, and so we're going to pay that forward to all of you that think in terms of 100, and I just wanted to tell you that, and that many of you know Joe Torres, who is that wonderful smiling man on the bongos there. We had music on Monday night. We had music Tuesday night. This wonderful banquet. I just want to make sure that all of you have given serious thought to where you're going in Shaklee and what your goals are and what you have on your goal boards, because some of you may not have Master Coordinator on your goal board yet. I was in Shaklee for years before I ever put that on my goal board. And I would just encourage you to seriously think about that and know that that's where you're going, and know what kind of, not only a contribution you would make on your way to master, but who you would become on the way to master. It's a beautiful.
And Barb, that's an important point there. I think that right now, thinking about being master can be scary. It can be just out of the box thinking for you. Just causes you to shiver and shake in your shoes. But don't discount it because you might have some of those weird feelings about getting to master coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
You can still have it on your goal board. You're going to get there in steps, and you will grow into it. You grow into it.
Yeah. That's exciting. It's like big faith sometimes, big faith. You just kind of put it out there and say, even though it's overwhelming, I can do it, or I'm just going to trust that I'm on the right path, and just keep working there. So exciting.
There we go. So, Lisa,
Okay.
now we will stop talking about our master meeting, and let's get into today's topic, which is so important.
It is. So welcome everyone to session number 5 of our Legacy and Leadership Spring training. And today is going to be a really good day. We really have 2 things on tap today that we're going to focus on. We're going to start bringing a product collection of the month every week. And this month is Heart Health Month, so we're going to have a beautiful product collection around that. And then today we're going to start opening up the topic of identifying business partners. And this is going to be something we'll keep talking about for a while because it is so important. So we're really going to explore that. It's going to be fun. We have some great, fresh, new ideas from a book called Rock Your Network Marketing Business from Sarah Robbins that Katie has kind of wonderfully fallen in love with and shared with us. And so we're excited. Today's going to be a good day. We have some good things coming up. So here's our February is Heart Month, American Heart Month, and we're going to talk about our product collection surrounding that. So good stuff, really important stuff.
On your mark, get set, go. Right. Okay. Yeah. So there is a promotion around the Smart Heart regimen, and we just wanted to make sure that you understand that there are. I just highlighted 4 products today, but Shaklee has some remarkable products for prevention of heart disease. And I want to mention, we'll mention this again in a little bit, but there are a couple of archive sessions on heart health that are in the Better Health in 31 Days website that we did. I'm thinking maybe a year ago, Joe, maybe 2, with Rusty Ost.
Right.
Who has who is a pharmacist and just has an amazing story around how these products have helped him. But the new one is the Shaklee blood pressure product. And we're going to tell you a little more detail about that because blood pressure affects millions of Americans. And and blood pressure medications have side effects, and to be able to begin thinking about healthier blood pressure before we get to the point that we're in need of medication is a wonderful, healthy thing. I know Steve Cheney always says he wishes that product had been called healthy arterial health or something like that because of what it does. So we'll tell you a little bit more about how that works. And then Omega Guard, and we're not going to talk in a lot of detail about Omega Guard today, but because we talk about that often. But Omega Guard is a remarkably wonderful product, and it is not only because it's a very high grade fish oil with all the full spectrum of the 7 different essential fatty acids in it, it's because of the purity of that product. That is a huge issue for consumers today. Fish oil is trendy, but how do you know that you're getting fish oil, first of all, that has a high enough percentage of the actual omega-3 fatty acids in it, and 2, that it doesn't have a lot of stuff in it you don't want, like heavy metals and PCBs and dioxin and so on. So, but that is such an important product. Omega Guard is one of those products that you really are going to want from the time you're a little bitty baby. Babies need Omega Guard for brain development, for intelligence. Children need it for their brain. 60% of the brain, is made out of these healthy fats. And American children typically are not snacking on sardines, so they're not getting it, right?
Not typically.
Right, and so all through school important, but very important for your heart, for blood flow, for reducing inflammation. I mean, everything about that, all the news is good. So that's why it's in the Vitalizer strip, really. And then cholesterol reduction complex, that is a wonderful product that gives people an alternative to the drugs and the statin drugs and so on. I don't know if I highlighted that one today, but if not,
Barb, can I just make one comment about that quickly?
Yeah.
That's a product that I have wanted to take, and I've tried taking it on and off, but I could never take it, the 10, 12, 15 and a half minutes before you eat, so on and so forth. Well, I was sitting next to Dr. Daggy Tuesday night, and I asked him about that, and he said, we've got to get that label changed. He said, if you're on cholesterol, want to take cholesterol reduction complex, he said, just take it around a meal. You don't have to take it a certain amount of time before a meal, because he said your body has cholesterol in it all the time. It doesn't just come from food. The body makes cholesterol. So just, if
two-thirds
if that's a problem.
Two-thirds of it the body makes.
Yeah.
Right, and so you can take it before, you can take it during, you can take it after. Doesn't matter. It's going to help, right? And then CoQ Heart, and we're going to zero in on this one today, give you a little more information on it, because that's really it's really an important nutrient. It does a lot of important things in the body. So click, Joe.
Yep.
And so first, let's tell you a little bit more about blood pressure. It promotes blood circulation. It improves blood circulation. And anytime you improve blood circulation, you're getting more nutrients to the brain, more nutrients to the essential organs, and more oxygen to the brain and to the essential organs, and you're carrying toxins away. Anytime you do that, that's a good thing. And it promotes healthy blood vessels. We'll show you that in a second. Click. And it, that's what I just said, brain and muscles. Okay, fine, click. And then here's how it's so slow clicking today. What is the matter with that thing?
I don't know. Mine.
It's frozen.
Is it moving slow for all of you?
Yeah, there's nothing on there, but I'll just go ahead.
Well, when you increase blood flow, you increase overall health of the body from delivering nutrients and oxygen to the cells and helping to carry away, of course, toxins and cellular waste. And that's one of the key benefits of Shaklee blood pressure product. I love this product. It helps the brain because it can helps to improve brain function and reduces cognitive decline, which is good for all of us. And then it helps improve performance of muscles, and because there's the ingredients that produce nitric acid in the body, and those have been used by athletes for years for athletic performance. So I
never knew that.
No.
I never knew about arginine and citrulline, and those have been marketed to athletes.
But anytime you improve blood flow to the muscles, that's a good thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very good. So here's where it comes from. The nitrates are coming from beet and spinach powder. You can click, and that helps. And then the magnesium. And there's magnesium in this product, but there's also, the Vital Mag product. And what magnesium does, you see where it says it relaxes healthy blood vessel walls. Because over time, they get stiffer. Those muscles get stiffer with age, and, if we've put a lot of clogging fatty things in there. And that's one of the things that magnesium does. So it's in the product, and people may choose to take that in addition to, also very good for blood pressure. Okay, click. And it also has these polyphenols. And boy, polyphenols, it sounds like, a 75-cent word, but we're going to be talking about those more and more, because that's the new understanding about the importance of these ingredients that have come from nature. Red wine, grapes, quercetin, that's one of the reasons our Vivix is such a remarkable product, because it wasn't just resveratrol, it was all those other polyphenols that they put with it, and they have it in this product as well. And that's, when you have antioxidants, that reduces inflammation, and inflammation is the beginning of heart disease in the blood vessels. So that's why that is an excellent ingredient. And then CoQ10. CoQ10, who ever heard of that, right, before? But it's a really important substance that the body uses to promote efficient use of energy in our cells. But what damages all of our cells, whether we're talking about cancer or we're talking about heart disease, are these free radicals. And anytime you've got antioxidants that help to stop free radicals, it just inactivates them. That's when you have a benefit to the body, and that's what CoQ heart does. Is essential for the efficient energy utilization inside our cells, inside our organs. But the organs that it will affect even the most are the ones with the highest energy needs, and that's your heart and your liver and your kidney. They have very high needs. So that suggests that if people were having issues around any of those organs, this would be a really good nutrient to take, right? And this is just the biochemistry of it. It transfers electrons from the food that we're eating to oxygen and to the free radicals, and then it activates them. That's sort of how it works, in case you have people who like to talk about chemistry. And it always reminds me of my chemistry teacher when I was in high school, Mr. Tuzzolino. He used to always say, "Now this is chemistry," and we started talking about electrons and protons and neutrons, and it was always made me very excited. I didn't know why. Okay, and particularly abundant in the heart muscle. So, and this is the big concern with statin drugs, because statin drugs block the pathway in the liver that the liver uses to make cholesterol. It's the same pathway that the liver uses to make the CoQ10. That's why we're so concerned about it. Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, and CoQ10 becomes depleted just from a number of different things, and statins is that big one. And remembering that the energy when CoQ10 is depleted in the body, the energy generated by the cells is far less efficient. And we have to just remember that our overall health starts at the cellular level. And so that's why these products are so vitally important. And when you have free radicals that are generated, they're going to do more damage to our cells. And damaged cells leads to all kinds of health issues. So it's interesting that adequate levels of CoQ10 are thought to help prevent diseases associated with that free radical production, like Parkinson's, cancer, arthritis, neurodegenerative, autoimmune conditions. And I just wanted to mention that for my husband, Mike, who 20 years ago had a heart attack and has been dealing with atrial fibrillation issues since then, but they're all controlled. He's doing fine. He had a 4-year checkup just last week, and the doctors were amazed at his condition. He has 100% oxygen utilization, which the cardiologist said, I don't ever see that, And what's interesting is that Mike has been improving every year when he goes in for these tests. And again, the cardiologist said, he said, I always see people go in the other direction. He said, he said, it's wonderful to have someone like you around.
How exciting. Wow.
So these products work and they make a difference.
Yeah.
And that's great. And you know what, so here's oh, go ahead, Joe. Tell me that.
That's right.
Go ahead.
People who will benefit from supplementing with CoQ Heart. Now, these, I think everybody would, but these are the particularly important categories. People over 50, especially postmenopausal women, because our ability to make CoQ10 declines with age. It's something that the body will make naturally, but our production peaks at age 20. So, go from there. They are CoQ10 levels can be low in people with cancer, certain genetic disorders, diabetes, heart conditions, HIV/AIDS, muscular dystrophies, Parkinson's disease. All of those issues can benefit. And people on statin drugs. I just say to people, if you're on a statin drug, you've got to, CoQ10 has to be the partner with that, And there's some evidence to support the use of CoQ10 for high blood pressure and heart failure, eye disease, chest pain caused by exercise, asthma, chronic fatigue, high cholesterol, and the treatment of chemotherapy side effects in children. So we have a lot of people to reach out to with this product.
Mm-hmm.
See, we wouldn't have thought of these things.
I wouldn't have. Wow.
Okay, so here's what I want to suggest is, when you hear these things, right, it's like, what are you going to do with this information? And one of the things that we can do is you can text, you can do a Facebook post, you can call people, and you could say, I heard something, I heard an interesting fact today about heart disease, or about February is Heart Month, and as I was listening to this, I thought I've got to really share this with people that I know, because there's so much that we can do for prevention, and the statistics, on heart disease, they're all over the place, but it's about number one killer disease for both men and women in the United States, somewhere up around close to 1 million, I think it is, isn't it, Joe? It's a very large number who have heart disease. And just to say, we live in a world where we don't have control over everything, but we really to actively practice prevention. There's just so much that we can do, and this is why the Vitalizer Gold has CoQ Heart in that, right? And then the collection that you can now offer people, with that. With the promotion if you want, but even just to get them started, introduce these products to them. You don't even have to use the promotion if you don't want to. Just get them started on these products. But that's that third party. As I heard about this and I wanted to share it with all of my customers, or I heard about this, I want to share it with my friends, because we all have parents who are getting into age groups where heart disease now is increasing even more. So that's how you can use this information.
That's very good. Very good.
Okay. And then we wanted to just do a quick math about it. Katie, did you see this? Because I didn't get to explain it to you, but
yes, no, I saw it.
Thank you.
So here's a couple of different ways that you can generate some PV this month, especially because February is a shorter month. So it's important that we're thinking ahead and know that ahead of time. So if, let's say, that you reached out to 10 customers and they started with the Heart Smart Collection, let's say they did the cholesterol reduction, the CoQ Heart, and the Omega, that would generate 88 PV, which would bring in for you 880 PV. And if you're at director level, you get to the 20% bonus, and then you would also get the price differential of the 15% markup as well. Or you do the blood pressure kit, and that would bring in 91 PV, which would bring in 910 PV at the 20% bonus and 15% markup, and that would generate $318. And this is just in our Heart Smart Collection alone. It doesn't even account for all the other things that you're doing throughout the month.
Very good.
And it's just 10 customers. It's not.
So you give yourself a $300 raise.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very good. And as Barb talked about earlier, we have some of these fantastic webinars archived at the Better Health in 31 Days site, and you can get a subscription to that at Bob's Files. But here's the thing that I'm loving about those webinars. So let's say we do exactly what Barb said, and we call some people and we say, I just heard about this, and I wanted to let some of my, closest members know, or I wanted to just reach out, make sure my friends understood that Shaklee has these product packs. Then you say, and it just so happens we have a great webinar that's been done on heart health. Would you like me to send you the link? And you can just copy and paste that link into an email, and you've basically given them an hour's worth of the best information out there, in my opinion, on being proactive and working on this area. So don't forget that you have these resources, because they're great. So
good.
All right. So our objectives, our next thing on deck is going to be talking about identifying business partners, assembling our business teams, and really opening up those doors to just talking with people, planting those seeds, and seeing who might be ready. That we've talked in the past about what happens when you start having a business team. There's a fun factor that goes through the roof. And so if not for anything else, get a team, because it's more fun to be working with a team. But really, we want to really evaluate the different ways to open these doors and to build our teams and to start helping other people do what we do. So now we get to talk about Sarah Robbins' book, Rock Your Network Marketing Business. Go ahead, Katie.
All right. So I love this chapter on power prospecting, because I think it's what we do in our business. And I think it's important to think of sharing and inviting, but also to try and leave our emotional attachment behind. And what I mean by that is, I think it was Sarah Robbins that actually talked about in one of her videos, because you can go and watch these little video clips that she does, that let's say hypothetically you were to speak to 100 of your friends, and you were a kindergarten you were principal of an elementary school and you had an opening and you asked 100 of your friends if they would be interested in being a kindergarten teacher. Well, of those 100 friends, do you think that every single one of them would say yes? No.
No.
It has nothing at all to do with you. It has nothing at all to do with you at all. So leaving that emotional attachment behind, it just means that it's not always the right fit. Or perhaps the timing isn't right. So it's important just to think through our list and to just have this as an offer to people and to remember that it's okay that when people say now it's not the right time or when people are interested, no means not now, and maintaining the friendship and inviting them to become your customer and revisit the subject later. There have been many times
Katie.
when I've talked to, I'm sorry, there have been many times when I've talked to friends before and they've told me, now it's not the right time, I'm just, and then a year later they've come back and they said, you know what, I think now's the time. So we can invite people to it, but just remember that not to have that emotional connection as well, which can be hard.
That's a good point, though.
Katie? Katie, we keep losing you.
Oh, sorry, I'm done with it. I'm done with that side.
Okay. All right, see the next one? About 3 ways. See, there's something slow about the slides moving, I think, today. So do you see the slide about the 3 ways someone can plug into our business?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know I was doing that one.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's... I'm sorry. That's why I was waiting. I thought I'm sorry.
You know what? Let me just insert here that to acknowledge Katie and Lisa, who are, you have no idea what a challenge it is for them to work with me, because they don't get these slides until, like 7 in the morning of our sessions. And so I didn't even have a chance to discuss them with them. So you two are amazing how you just, are spontaneous to do this. So yes, thank you, Katie. I'd like you to take
my name was a little hidden there. I did not see it by the second card.
It's like, where's Waldo? We don't want to make it too easy for you. Okay, go now. Okay.
All right. So there are 3 ways that someone can plug into our business. They can become a consultant, a distributor, and they can develop a business. They can be a customer, or this is what I love too, they can be a connector. And what I mean by connector is those are the people who learn what we do and connect us to people who may have an interest. So it's who do you know that can be concerned with heart health, or who do you know that has sick children who are looking for some more natural ways to help them. So those are different ways that you can connect with people, and to have 5 new contacts a day, and think of it like a deck of cards with 4 aces, about how, it's just a matter of offering, but also there's a few jokers in there as well.
But that adds a little spice to our life.
That's exactly right. That was Jeannie's line. I threw that one in.
I wanted to make a quick comment because I like that word connector that Sarah Robbins uses, but it's what she says right after that, connectors who learn what we do. It's not just a matter of asking people for referrals, but it's asking someone to take a look at a video or have a little presentation with us so they know what it is that we're doing and the kind of people we're attracting and that we want on our team. Then they can better connect us with people that they know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, Katie, this is your slide.
Your name is hidden again.
Katie?
I'm having a rough morning with my daughter.
That's right.
So, revisiting our customers. I think this is so important, and this is actually something that happened recently with me and my business, is that I had a customer that actually, she got interested in the business after just falling in love with the products and for using them for 2 years. And she actually asked me recently, she said, I can't believe I didn't start this 2 years ago. And so it's just important to have the follow-up with our customers, because those customers that we have, they're loving the products. They're using the product. And she said, I'm already sharing it with other people, so why not be able to earn my income and get my products for free?
Exactly. Good.
Okay, and the past prospects? Oh, okay. Same thing. Katie? Oh, you know what? She's trying to deal with Milena. It's just that other point on that slide was that the same thing is true of people that you may have spoken to about the business a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
Or 2 years ago, or I mean, Susan Knott, one of my dearest directors, it was 12 years, and Linda Orso too. I mean, I think it was 25 for her, that they had been in that case they were customers, but I must have mentioned the business along the way that allowed them to come. So that's a wonderful place to stay connected. Circumstances change, and people's confidence change, and and so timing changes. So they're all still there. Just because someone it wasn't right for them, 2 years ago, does not mean they may not be right now.
And we can check in with them.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have to be laissez-faire about it and hope that someday our phone will ring and someone's going to call us. We can be. I think Sarah Robbins talking about taking a proactive role.
Yeah. And we're using this approach a lot right now with the Denver Groundswell Project and just saying, hey, I know we talked about this in the past and I'm not sure if anything's changed or the timing is right, but there's something special and unique happening right now and I thought maybe you would like to revisit it. So really this is the exact approach we're doing with a lot of people to see if maybe the time is right, but maybe, the interest of something different happening right now in our community would stimulate that,
Yep.
Yeah. Go ahead. Okay, Katie, if you're not there, just tell us.
I'm okay now. I'm sorry. We had a meltdown on nail polish.
Well, that's a serious issue.
Colors on her nails.
Well, you gotta deal with that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry about that. Going through your phone and your Facebook contacts, just recently, I realized that I had a friend that wanted to go to an event that I had hosted, but it didn't work out in her schedule. And I was going through my Facebook messages, and I realized I need to reach out to Jessica. I haven't reached out to Jessica in a while, and she was interested in going to an event, and I tried to get her on the phone. She didn't seem too interested in getting on the phone, but she wanted to do it in person, and she wanted to go to a live event. So going through your phone and your Facebook contacts is also a great way of making your list. And take something like, I wanted to share some exciting news with you. I started a new business, telling a little bit about the product and your business story and how you found it and why you're excited. And then just sharing my business is building in your area, and I wanted to share it with you to see if I could pick your brain for ideas on how to build there and who that might be interested. Could I treat you for coffee or dinner or something like that, or a virtual coffee gift card and tell you more? And you could I know that I have some people on our team who do Skype dates or FaceTime dates so that people can still have a little bit more personal than being on the phone because you can see the person. So that's an option too. And then having third-party validation and social proof is powerful. So relating your leader story and setting up a three-way call or inviting to a meeting. So being able to bring in a third party validates your story, and it validates what you're trying to share, and it brings in another person's perspective.
Very good. Very good. All right, and this is really, I think, how I grew my business kind of organically when I started it. And really, it's just the who are you bumping into? Who's in your life every day? Who are you talking to? And so we can look at some of the examples that Sarah Robbins is offering here. But this is what I would say. Whatever you do and however you decide to kind of introduce Shaklee into your everyday life and the people you're running into, make it you. Make it real. Make it natural. So learn to engage people in conversation. We talk about this all the time, meaningful, right? Meaningful interactions and conversations and being genuine, but learning to just ask the questions to hear about them, right? I used to stand in front of the kids' school waiting for the kids along with all these other moms and just listen to the number of moms that talked about their kids' ear infections. I grew my business through ear infections, and eventually after
I grew my business on ear infections.
This is not very good.
I'll have to make a slide about that. That's good, yeah.
But the thing is then I would just say, you know what, I found something that's really helped us with ear infections. Would you like some information on it? So that's what I think this means, is just being out in the world with people, and then learning just how to follow up. And so here's an example. I love chatting with you today. I would love to leave you with this gift. So that might feel a little funky to me, but I certainly would say, you know what? I think that I have something you might be interested in. Would you like a sample? You know what I mean? So being prepared to offer samples, to offer information. I always had a CD ready in the beginning days of Children's Health because everybody needed it. And then this is a good little rule of thumb down here. Get their name and number and say, can I follow up with you on that? And I would always tell people, can I send you an email? You can check some things out, and then I'll call you and make sure you got it, right? And so then you're just setting the stage in a comfortable, natural, non-pressure way of exposing them to what you have to offer and following up. So this is a great way to do it. And then there's the in-homes, really, and that's probably the most consistent strategy I've used to not only build my business but to help other people, just because it's a great place to get people together to give them a solid presentation. And you can do these in-homes in any way. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, I got excited there. We sponsored a gal, meaning a couple leaders of ours, we just met with her a couple days ago, and she's already got this idea to do this great Luck of the Irish party. Oh, it's so cute. So get creative. I have a new leader this month who's doing the Love Yourself party. But in-homes are, especially for women, a great way to get together, have a little social time, but to hear some solid information. Business launches, grand openings, Moms on a Mission. We've done a couple of Facebook events and a few in-homes. We're planning right now a businesswomen's tea, really just to get women together to take a look at the business. Whatever it is, these are great ways to get people together. We kind of, in our group, avoid the word party a little bit just because it's kind of overused in a lot of in-home businesses, but we talk about get-togethers or meetings. But here's some key components, okay? I believe in a couple weeks we're going to delve deeper into the idea of how do you make a solid presentation, what do you do to make sure you're covering all the pieces. But here's some basics right now. Always share your story. Always present the issue that you're going to solve. So if I'm going to do a Healthy Home, Healthy You, I want to talk about some of the things that are going on with the health crisis right now, what's going on in the world and the different conditions we're dealing with. I want to talk about household toxins, right? So I can offer a solution to that through Shaklee. If I'm going to do a Moms on a Mission meeting, I'm going to talk about the challenges of being a stay-at-home mom but making ends meet, and how you have this pressure to bring in some money but you still want to take care of your kids, right? Then we'll do an overview of the products and Shaklee difference and the business benefits, and that aspect of Shaklee always needs to be put out there, even in a very gentle way, but really important that people know that's available. Your business story. The You Share Build concept is brilliant. Always use it. I love it. And then we always like to end every type of presentation with just an invitation to join our team. So there's some basics there, but that's an in-home meeting or a party or virtual party is a great way to do it. All right. And do we have Betsy on the line?
Betsy. Well, we'll have to.
You unmute her. I'll give you a little presentation.
Okay, I'll have to unmute her to have her be on the line.
I
got her.
Did you get her?
Oh, good. I'm personally not very good with networking group or chamber events. However, I have a leader in our organization that this is her wheelhouse. She is so good at this, and she builds really effectively from a networking group. So what I would say is don't discount them if they're not you. They could very well be someone else's strength, and if Betsy is a great example of someone who just does great with this.
So, Betsy, are you there? This is coming as a bit of a surprise to Betsy.
I love surprises.
Good thing. So, hi, Bets. But, Betsy, you have been involved in networking groups a lot in your business. Can you just take a couple minutes and tell us, because I think Crystal told us that she's really built the majority of her customer base came from her networking group contacts, but finding business partners there is a little different. Tell us about your experience with that.
Yeah, and I do a lot of networking. I was in, for my Cartridge World business, a closed networking group, and I was supposed to be representing Cartridge World in that group. But as you develop relationships with people, you talk about everything with them. You talk about your kids, you talk about what you're passionate about, you talk about, and that for me was Shaklee as well. But for me, networking, it's all about getting to know people and getting to know them for them more than for you.
Mm.
So in my networking groups, what I typically do when I connect with someone is I try to get to meet with them outside of the networking group for coffee or for lunch or something and just start getting to know them. And, I try really to allow them to talk mostly about themselves. I really, and the people I've I, just as Crystal have a very large number of customers as a result of networking. And, that has been wonderful. And then I have also several, strangely enough, and it's not by design, but chiropractors. My first business partner that I got through BNI, as you had said below, right on the slide, is Dr. Grace, and it did take me a while to get him to the point where he was ready to start his business, but it was a matter of just getting to know him, understanding what his why was. For him, it was he has a strong belief in nutrition. He had a history with his wife being sick. But he also he went into chiropractic older than a lot of people, and so he's looking for his exit strategy and what he's going to be able to do for income after the fact. So, once he was comfortable enough with me and knew me well enough and that I cared and stuff, he was willing to open up to that kind of information. And then I was able to present, what Shaklee might be able to offer to help him achieve that. So. And then the second person that I got through networking, it was actually I had a table at a after hours event, and he also had a table at an after hours event, and he just happened to be a chiropractor. And one of the first questions that I ask when I talk to a chiropractor is, tell me what your specialty is. A lot of chiropractors have specialties. So what's really interesting to you? What's your passion in chiropractic? And it's interesting because they're all different. And then at some point after I learn about that, I ask them if they've incorporated nutrition into their practice. And but the key is that from that meeting where I developed kind of a comfort with talking to them, I then take that to the next step, which is getting together for coffee or lunch, and just continue the process of getting to know about them, really talking more about them than talking about me, until they, everybody gets to the point where they're like, now you got to tell me about you now. All I've been doing is talking about me. and that's what happened. But most people expect you to do the opposite, and so I think just being patient and just really caring enough to really want to know about them is the key.
Oh, let's underline that.
Yeah,
statement.
Very good. Wow.
Because see, that's quite a challenge for us, and it's such a smart thing you just said, is that make sure that we stay away from the pitch, and that we build the relationship. It's all about them. And eventually, if it's meant to be, the conversation is going to come around to us. But I love that you said that, Betsy. I think that is absolutely true.
She's so good at that.
Good.
That's wonderful.
She is excellent.
Beautiful.
Well, thank you for this pop-in, Betsy. We'll pop out now. Thanks a lot.
You did good with that. All right, so let's talk about events. And you know what, if anyone was on the Shaklee Business Leader call last week, they talked a lot about events and how a lot of growth in Shaklee right now they're directly attributing to events. So you don't want to discount an event. I talked to a leader yesterday who said, the best thing about bringing that person is I could share the business with them in a very comfortable way, and there was nothing weird about it at all. You know what I mean? And so that's a great thing about an event. People can get the whole picture and the excitement, the energy of Shaklee, and be in a comfortable place doing it. So we're right now in Denver doing the Groundswell events. I know that they are already considering these successful, and I believe that they're going to spread throughout the United States. And I just put in some dialogue that we used. And so you can kind of see there for people that we contacted. So we made it special. So if you're going to invite someone to an event, you want to kind of make it special and unique and promote the idea that they have an opportunity to come hear something that they can't hear every day. You know, it's not like you're going to have this event every Friday. So I think that's part of it. So I said Shaklee picked Denver to be one of 2 cities to have an extra special focus. It's called Project Groundswell. When we launched the event on Friday night, we said, you know, this is kind of like a special moment in time where, you know, history is going to be made tonight with lots of lives and lots of businesses. And so it's that type of thing. Events can be very, very powerful. And actually they can be a lot of fun. And I think people can come and kind of bond with other people and feel very validated because, oh, wait, it's not only 5 people that are interested in Shaklee, maybe 150, right? So I think there's the value of an event. So Betsy and I had a beautiful conversation last week about some vision and ideas she has for some events. And so I would say, you know, get with some people, talk about it. It doesn't have to be 100, 20 or 30 or 50 could make a really powerful event as well. But I think they're a good idea to have. So
excellent. And then and it can be 10 and 12, and I mean, I'm thinking about people who live in a small community. You know, it was something Clint McKinley, who I'm loving, said at the master meeting, Joe, and I wrote it down. He said, everyone begins with a team of one.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, but that's a concept, isn't it? That we all begin building our team with a team of one. And when we connect with other people, or we're creating our team and saying, imagine what we could do right here in Oak Park. You know, it doesn't have to be, you know, a big city of Denver. It can be your hometown of Springfield. It's just wherever it is, it's the vision that you have of what it could mean. What was it that Jim Burke said, Joe, about he lived in this little tiny town of Grand Rapids? Was it?
Yes.
No, not Grand Rapids. Rapid City.
Yeah,
Rapid City, North Dakota. I mean, they have more mountain goats than they've got people. And he had I forgot how many, 9 directors.
I said 11.
I mean, it was a lot of directors. It was a teeny little town. It's like, but that was the vision, you see. And Lisa, I love what you said about history is going to be made tonight, you know, or history can be made right here with what we're going to do. We're going to create it right here and make a difference in the health of our community. I love that. Beautiful.
It's like the big picture can be shared in a way more effectively in that setting, you know.
Absolutely, Lisa.
There's more energy as we come together. And that's the importance of making the effort to trek off to the bigger meetings. Mm-hmm. Exactly right. Very good. I
agree. Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. Katie?
All right. So also think about, as we're thinking about the people that we come in contact with, people who provide you services. So this could be somebody that's been doing your hair for a couple of years now, somebody that you do that does your nails, perhaps a realtor, an accountant that you see, an attorney. You go to get your car washed at the same place. Just think of all the people that have been providing a service for you, and think about reaching out to them and saying something like this. I love supporting your business for years. I really appreciate your service. You do a great job cutting my hair. And now I'm hoping that I can share my business with you, and I'd love for you to help me refer people in this. And then going on to share a little bit about what you do. And the best part about this is people who provide services and who own their own businesses, they understand how they're run. And so they will be some of your best referrals and some of your best customers. I have a neighbor that does Wild Tree, which is they provide food for people. They can do like freezer meal prep and different things like that. And so I'm always telling other people, hey, if you need to make healthy meals and you don't want, you know, all the garbage that's normally in your taco seasoning, you should see my friend. And she does the same for me. And so we're just always helping each other out, which is great. And in referring people, also recently I heard somebody say that they actually will swap products. So meaning, hey, if you cut my hair, I'll pay you with
barter
or something, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
So I think that's a great idea. You know, let's say that you have, Barb gave me this idea recently. Let's say that you need more help with your kids and doing your business. You could have one of your friends who's really been wanting to use the Shaklee products. Maybe she would be willing to come over for an hour or two, help you watch the kids while you work, or help with an event, and then in turn you're able to pay her with Shaklee products, and she's able to earn those products. So just think creatively. I mean, the sky's the limit with that, but I also think that if you can get connected, like Betsy did, with other like-minded networking groups, they can sometimes be some of your best referrals to you.
And you know what? What I love about what Betsy said, what you just said, Katie, and what you said earlier, Lisa, is that it's a mindset of networking, of thinking of yourself in this community of other people with other needs and businesses and so on, and thinking about what can I do to help you. That's the mindset of the concept of networking groups. What I love is that it's about small local businesses helping one another. It's when you have that as a mindset, you start there. It's all about giving and helping others, and it takes away competition. It takes away, anyway, it's lovely concept. Love that. Okay. Traveling is next, Joe.
Yeah, traveling. And this is also Sarah Robbins in her book says that she asks people where they are going, why they're traveling, who are you going to see. And when people ask where I'm going, I tell them where, and then I say I'm expanding my business there. They typically ask me what I do, so you want to be ready with what you want to say, or ask them and then exchange information and follow up. And the Sean Gray and Aunt Nancy story is one that I don't think I will ever forget. Sean Gray. What?
It's an amazing story.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, he talks about being on a plane, sitting next to this woman, and is having a conversation with her, and says, oh, by the way, he said, do you know anyone in Taiwan? He said, my company is expanding there, and, we're looking for people to connect with. And she said, well, yeah. She said, my Aunt Nancy, she lives in Taiwan. She'd be a good one to talk to. So Sean Gray and Pat Hintz go to Taiwan, Taipei, and talk to Aunt Nancy and find out she's an extremely well-connected person, I guess has her own business, and helps connect Sean Gray to some people, and we all know what's happened today. I mean, he has a Shaklee organization with, I don't know, how many does he have, like 10 or 12 presidential masters?
Zillions. He has zillions of people.
All of China.
When he has a meeting, he has 5,000 people for just his group. I mean, it's amazing.
So, I mean, how hard is it to ask that question of people? Do you know anyone from India? Or do you know anyone from Butte, Montana, or wherever you might want to expand your business? Mm-hmm. It's a simple question to ask. We never know where it will lead.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Right. And you know what else is? Well, you know what? I've got one eye on the clock. I'll tell you that story later. I was just going to say it's a great place to practice asking questions and getting to know
never see those people again.
Yeah, that's right. Just don't pitch. It's a great place to learn to put the brakes on that and just ask and get to know people.
Yeah,
that's great.
You're
okay.
Right.
Yeah, because I want to get to Stephanie. She's standing by. Go ahead.
All right, I'll be really quick with this one.
Or Katie.
Creating your list. So as you think through the people that you know, think about what qualities you want in a business partner. This is important because as you think of qualities, you're going to think of your friend Stacy, you're going to think of your friend, your cousin Sarah, you're going to think of all these different people that come to your mind. So think of the qualities that you want in a business partner, and then begin brainstorming exercise to unlock the names that might be in your memory somewhere. Some people that you never thought of. I'll tell you, the customer of mine that I shared at the beginning of this conversation, this person had been using the product for 2 years, and I had never thought that she would be interested in the business. She never came to my mind, and I think she's going to do tremendous. She's already doing a great job, and I'm really excited. But, had I not sat down to really think through, and I'll tell you, we had a dinner and we talked for 2 hours before we even mentioned Shaklee. And I think that it just further validates what Betsy and what Lisa are saying, that it's about a relationship. It's about taking time to ask questions. And I'm so excited that Stephanie will be sharing the next couple slides on using social media.
Good. And well, and what's interesting about Stephanie, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Oh, and she's sitting among 3 children. These women are amazing. I want you to hear how freely Stephanie talks about the business to people that she knows. I just love it. Stephanie, so just share with us, you have identified 5 new distributors in just the last few months, like four months or so, and share with us, how did you find them? How did you identify these people?
Sure. Well, really, there's no particular person or personality type, or, something like that I target per se. I feel that if they approach me about Shaklee, then there's an interest, so why not ask them about joining the business? I heard it before that people don't always share their needs. You never know. They may need someone to bring it up to them. They could be going through a difficult financial situation and not sharing it, or they could be trying to pay something off, trying to save up for a special trip, or even have a parent that's trying to stay home and quit their job so they can be with their kids. And you just might be their saving grace, and because they never brought it up to you. But then you approach them, and so you might be asking or solving a question that they had that they never brought up. For me personally, my team is made up of all different personality types and all different types of goals. Some people are working to quit their jobs to stay home, and some people are just glad to have the opportunity to have the opportunity to give back and help others because their day job doesn't provide that to them. And then some are just enjoying getting their products for free. So what usually happens in a situation, I'm going to share an example of a friend of mine. She had been noticing that my Facebook posts online, and so she asked me if there were any products that could help her daughter with eczema. So I always start off by thanking them and telling them that I'm so excited to tell them about alternative approaches. And I tell her about the products and use a lot of enthusiasm to get her excited about it, and that there is a solution, hopefully, aside from what the doctors have been telling them. And then I just simply say, I would love to tell you more about the business aside of Shaklee, so you'd have the opportunity to get a bigger discount as well as have the opportunity to earn a paycheck just by using and sharing the products. And then I always tell them that I personally had no intention of building a business, but that I've been blown away from the responses of other people looking for different alternative approaches and wanting to build a healthier home for them. So, and going along with what Barb had said, having the mindset of what can I do to help you has always been a very positive approach because, like I said, you never know what their situation is. So I'm just very out there and ask them, and I'm not afraid of rejection because they may not be interested at the moment, but you're planting that seed, and you never know when they may need that opportunity and come back and tell you that, hey, you know what, I would be interested in this. Or, for example, just yesterday, I had a friend call me and say, hey, I was at a play date today, and there was a mom there who was saying she's going through a divorce and has 5 kids and is looking for a way to earn some extra income. And so she told her all about me and about Shaklee. And so I had a call with that lady this morning, and she's really excited about the opportunity to be able to earn some extra money but still have a lifestyle where she's with her 5 kids.
Oh my goodness.
So,
Love
so like
that.
I said, where my friend who called me, I had she's a customer of mine, and I had told her about joining the business, but it wasn't something that was a fit for her personally. But she remembered that, and she remembered my enthusiasm towards the business. And so, like I said, she was at a play date yesterday, heard somebody have a need, and she shared me and my story with that lady. And now that woman is excited about potentially starting a business of her own. So, like I said, you're planting the seeds, and you never know where it's going to take you. So,
I just love that.
Love it.
And you understand the social media connection, which took me a while to figure this out, is I would say, but Stephanie, how did you get them to get an interest in the business? She said, well, I just told them about, and I realized what she was, and I'd say, well, you mean you had a conversation? Well, yeah, we talk, a couple times a week, and I really, they're talking about talking on Facebook. That's what they're talking about. And I couldn't understand how did you do that again? And how did they know? It's that, well, they saw, it's like, where? On Facebook. That's the connection, is she lives her life out there on Facebook in just a genuine, authentic way. And then she has a telephone conversation with them. She takes it offline when the timing is right to do that. And I am learning this from all of you, and it is a wonderful thing that you do. And so I have enormous respect for Facebook and social media. We can click through these. These are your pitch letters that she created. Anything you want to say about those quickly, Steph?
Sure. Well, this was for my team because over just the last 5 months, we've built a team of 16 distributors, and everybody, for the most part, is pretty active in building their business. There's a couple people that are casual, but there's some, the 5 specifically, that haven't broken out as directors yet, that have been over 500 PV. So I wanted to help them advance their businesses. So I wrote some pitch letters to friends that we know mutually, or to people that I knew they were friends with, but I knew a little bit of their background, and I sent them out. I did the work for my distributors because I want to be that leader that's there helping them along the way. And once they feel that they've had a sale, they feel more successful, and they're remotivated, and they're excited about working and building their business. So I took a strength of mine and maybe a weakness of theirs to reach out to people, and me saying the words and everything kind of puts them at a little more ease. And so, here's an example of a pitch letter that I had sent to somebody who's a teacher, and this was one I sent to a friend of mine, actually, and I actually didn't even approach her necessarily about becoming a customer. I approached it as a business side because we had talked a couple years ago when we both had my number 2 baby, he's going to be 5 soon, and then her first one, about her not being able to stay home. And so I just remembered that, and I reached out to her about how great the business opportunity could be, and that I have other teachers. She's a teacher. I have other teachers on my team who are trying to be able to quit their teaching jobs and stay home, and just like Katie. And this girl, Colleen, who you see on the screen, she knows Katie as well. We all grew up together. So I just thought it was a great opportunity to pitch the business first. Don't even you tell her necessarily about all the products, because she hasn't seen the products. She sees my posts online, and she has attended some of my Facebook parties. So, I just wanted to reach out to her and give her an opportunity for a way to earn extra income.
Oh, I
love it. Great idea.
Okay, I mean, we won't go into this today. Is it next week we're doing social media and Facebook stuff? We're going to be talking a lot more about this. Roger Barnett said it has transformed our business. Facebook and a phone has transformed our business. And Stephanie and her group, did you hear her say she has 16? Yeah. I thought, did I hear that right? In 6 months, she has 16 distributors. She says that little phrase there to everyone about, and you can always decide to be a distributor and get a bigger discount and earn some extra money. How hard is that?
Yeah. And the funny thing is that.
Go ahead.
Well, with Stephanie, I think that it is very clear that she makes the business known, and I think that is why she's been so successful and why she has had a lot of people join her team. Not only that has she made it known to people, but she's relational. She's talking to these people on the phone, and she's also connecting with them. And you can't talk to Stephanie and not see the enthusiasm behind her and the business. And so I think that's important to note, that she makes this known to other people, and she is excited about it. And why wouldn't you want to do this? You can see that with Stephanie. I'm so proud of everything she's doing in such a short period of time.
Yeah, you're a genius. Okay, action steps. Okay.
All
Thanks,
right.
Jeff.
So review the list of reach out methods, Decide by Sarah Robbins. You might want to go ahead and get your hand on that book. It's not too big. It's an easy read and very good stuff. Choose one or two and begin with your own list of names. Set up your working folder. So we've talked about this extensively in the past, but make sure you've got a little organization. Get your list in there, get organized, and you know, have that place where everything you need to work is right there in front of you. You know, practice some dialogues. Gosh, how natural is that little line that Stephanie just said? That is the like simple, easy, natural, normal, everyday language. Just practice a little bit of that so it becomes a part of your language, right? Now, purchase your registration to Cleveland. Maybe start planning which rock and roll person you're going to be on the gala night, right? Oh, my goodness. You know what? That's going to be some
Lady Gaga.
Oh, dear. That could be so many different things. And then really work for your Cash to Cleveland, you know, by accumulating these 20 sponsoring points. And, again, the more you talk about, you know, opening the door for business, the better the chances you have of a Gold Ambassador coming in, and that can get you halfway there in 1 month if you have a Gold Plus come in. So good action steps this week. Fun stuff's going to happen. And then here's some of the things we have coming up. So Facebook is your friend. Harper, and she did, by the way, Harper did such a good job last week. I meant to tell her that. So Harper, if you're on, she's really good at verbalizing things. And so Harper and Bonnie, right? Hopefully Bonnie is going to be there and give us more in-depth look into the Facebook thing. And then the 26th, we'll talk more about the key elements to a successful meeting and in-home event. And, you know, kind of keep framing that up. So good stuff.
Good stuff to come. A few questions, Joe?
Yeah, someone's asking about what about people with normal to low blood pressure? I just think you would not need to use our blood pressure product. That's exactly who the blood pressure product has been designed for.
Mm-hmm.
People with
maybe not super low, but
right.
But if it's normal, it's just a healthy. That's what Steve said. It is healthy for our arteries. And maybe you take it every other day or something, but it is a very good thing, because he said as we age there will be a natural stiffening of the walls. Yeah, it's very good.
All these slides are archived at bobsfiles.net, as are the documents that we send out each week in our follow-up email. So if you go to bobsfiles.net, look up the webinar, and there's the PowerPoints are there, the audio, the documents, everything is right there.
But there was an entire 2 sessions in there on in Better Health in 31 Days. That we did the one on blood pressure with Steve Cheney was in September, right after we came back from conference, and then the one I think with Rusty Ost was the year before. And Rusty's is very good, but we didn't have the blood pressure product yet.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was talking about the Thursday morning PowerPoints are at Bob's Files.
And
you're right.
I think, Joe, we might want to clear up with Chris, but my understanding is they're now all being sent to the Better Future Starts Today, and that the last session that's available at Bob's Files was like the fall. So, you know, if Chris is on, he can either confirm or deny that, because I have been wrong before, as we know. But that's my understanding, is that, and Chris is doing such amazing things with the Better Future site, because there's a lot of organization, but all of the attachments in the PowerPoints and then the webinar itself is right there. You click and it plays. So like this last session, I think they're all getting sent there. So Chris, if you're on, you can confirm or deny, but I believe that's the case. So the old archives are sitting in Bob's Files, but not the current stuff we're doing right now.
Oh, I love Tina Sanchez said I missed number 6, and that's because number 6 was actually the one we did last, which was social media, but I wanted to I love people who actually pay attention to the numbers. Oh my
I didn't notice. That's great.
I know. Oh, you are a peach. I'm going to be talking to you, Tina. You could be you could be very useful. But who actually follows the numbers? Oh my God. Okay. And let's see. Oh, and someone. Let's see. What's another one, Joe?
Well, there's a good question here. I'm always at a loss for words when I ask, "What is it that you do?" Would you tell me how some of you answer that question? I don't.
Stephanie. Let's unmute Stephanie. Nothing like putting her on the spot. But I mean, I love what she says. Stephanie. Oh, yep, there she is. Little kids. Hey, Steph.
Yes.
Woo-hoo. Oh, there you are. Stephanie, what do you say to people when they ask you what you do?
Well, I basically just tell them I get to help other moms follow dreams that they were working towards. Last night I went to a book signing with one of my friends, and she was just asking me how my business was going and everything, and so I told her that, it's kind of changed. My role has changed right now of building a team and, getting to help other people become more financially secure and do things that they weren't able to do before. So that's kind of what I tell them now.
Wait a minute. You're talking really fast. I really like that. My role has changed. I'm building a team to help
helping other women be able to do things that they weren't able to do before.
Be more financially secure.
Secure, yeah, be more financially secure.
You're brilliant. I love that. And do things they couldn't do before. Oh, okay. That answers our question. Thank you. Lovely. I'm getting it down, so we'll put it on a slide for everybody.
Good. Very good. I have a very, very short line that I've been doing. If people ask, I say, I have my own business. I work from home. Have you ever heard of Shaklee? And it just, you know why? Because it opens up, and then we go into and explain it. But that's been kind of my go-to because I'm so proud of the word Shaklee. I don't want to have it hiding even 4 or 5 sentences, so I get it quick. But the work from home is attractive. Having your own business is attractive. So that's my short version, and then I expand if
nice.
They ask. Yeah.
Very nice. Yeah. See, what's so interesting about Stephanie's response is that they already knew she had a business because she's been living on Facebook with it.
Yeah.
That's what is different from what you and I have always had to do in the past, Lisa, is just to say, I work from home. I have my own business. Have you ever heard of Shaklee? Because that's their only information about us. So she has a real advantage when they already know she has some kind of a business. How's your business going? And then she says, well, it's great, but my role's changed a bit. I'm building a team now to help other women be more financially secure. What a lovely thing to say. Oh, my gosh, I love that. Okay, anything else, Joe? What else is...
I think we're okay for today. I have to run in a minute anyways.
Okay, we've got... All right. Okay, so thanks, everybody. I was just looking, did Chris ever answer Lisa's... Okay, well, we'll give you more on that. So when you subscribe to BetterHealthIn31Days.com, when you subscribe to that, you can do that individually, or you can get a group of people together to, as a subscription. You also have access to this really nice website that's called Better Future Starts Today. Chris will be very happy if I got that correct this time. And because he told me every time I say it wrong. Better Future Starts Today. But what he's done there is he puts just the most important resources that we use to send to somebody to tell them a little bit more about Shaklee and help them in their evaluation of the company and the business and so on. Because Shaklee has the Shaklee.tv website, which is also great, but it's getting kind of filled up with everything. And what Chris has done with Better Future Starts Today is he has prioritized the best resources that we use the most. Chris, what was the question?
And you know what? I just pulled it up right now while we're talking, and the legacy and leadership is popping up there. So I am wrong, and that's actually good news. So they are there. They're at both places. It's on Bob's Files. I'm looking at it right now. So.
Well, the wonderful thing that happened is Chris and Michelle have started developing a Shaklee business because they've been listening to these calls for the last several years and decided, hey, we want to do it too. So now they're building a Shaklee business, which has limited the amount of time that he has in getting these things posted, and we so appreciate him, because without him, none of these would be archived and able to use in training our teams. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, Joe. I know it has to run. And thank you, guests, Betsy and Stephanie and Katie and Lisa, as always. And next week, we're going to be talking about Facebook is your friend. Stephanie, we have invited back because she did a Facebook event. I'm thinking, Stephanie, 2-3 weeks ago now. 82 people attended it. It was on a non-toxic home, and we're going to have her tell us how she set that up, how she invited people to it to get 82 people participating, and what, of course, came out of that were more distributors and members. So more on that next week. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Have a great week, people.